Join the movement. Go all electric with Pure Electric.
Welcome to the Eltham Treehouse. We're really happy to be opening for Sustainable House Day this year. This is a 2-bedroom townhouse that was built in around 2009, and it was architecturally designed by John Pizzey, who was a colleague of Alistair Knox. It's a really beautiful place to live. It's very comfortable and well insulated, and it was very well constructed when it was built. So when I moved into this house around 2 years ago, we didn't really need to do too much to it to make it even more sustainable, because it was built facing north. It's got these beautiful windows that face north, and the light comes into the living room. And it's also been really well constructed, so it's quite well sealed. It's got insulation on all of the exterior walls, and all of the windows, apart from a couple, have been double glazed. It's also a reasonably well constructed home, so it hasn't got too many gaps and drafts that needed to be sealed up. And we find that when the temperature outside is fairly moderate, we don't need any heating or cooling. And so we really just need heating and cooling for extreme winter and then the hot days in summer. So the main thing that I wanted to do to this house when we moved in to make it even more sustainable was to remove the gas. It had gas ducted heating upstairs and downstairs, and it also had a solar gas boosted hot water system on the roof. And as well as that, it had a cooktop in the kitchen that was gas, a standalone unit. In addition, it also comes with a slow combustion heater in the living room. And even though it's a really small unit, it's quite oversized for the size of the room, and it can make the room really, really hot. And the other thing that it had was evaporative cooling in the living room. So we've made quite a lot of changes, and we've removed all of the gas appliances and also removed the evaporative cooling. So one of the things that we did was we first of all took out the gas cooktop. That was primarily because I was finding using the gas cooktop really difficult after using an induction cooktop for 8 years, burning both myself and the food. And it was an easy, quick switch appliance replacement. Then we had to make a decision about what kind of heating we put in. So we put one split system in upstairs in the living room and 2 smaller units downstairs in each of the bedrooms. That meant that we could use the split systems for both heating and cooling. And so, of course, we had to make a decision about the evaporative cooling system in the living room. And in the end, decided to remove the evaporative cooling. The reason we decided to remove the evaporative cooling is partly because it was taking up a lot of space, both in the garage and also on the roof space where I wanted to put solar on. And also because with evaporative cooling, you need to leave the house open to get the flow through of air. And sometimes that's not always the best thing to do, because it might be the air quality outside is not that good and you don't want to have the air coming in and out. One of the things about taking out the evaporative cooling meant that we were able to remove 3 of the really big vents that were in the living room, which was great because it meant that we were able to seal up the living room envelope a bit more tightly. Okay. The house has got 2 bedrooms and the main bathroom downstairs. And when we took the gas out of the bathroom, the gas heating, the bathroom is south facing. It can be quite dark and damp. So we put in a heated towel rail to keep the towels dry. And we need to just continue to work a little bit on the ventilation for that room because it's quite hard to keep it ventilated. Looking at putting in a shower dome potentially over the shower cavity to try and keep the steam contained. The wood-fired slow combustion unit in the living room is only small, but when it's fired up, it makes the room incredibly hot. And so in actual fact, we only really use it on special occasions. I would have looked at removing it, except that the quote to remove the slow combustion unit was about $1,000, which actually just meant that it really wasn't worthwhile. And that's because we needed to take out the unit, but also fix the flue that went through the ceiling, and then on the outside of the house replace the ColourBond panels on the roof. And it was all just too expensive and too difficult to do. So the slow combustion unit is still here, and it really doesn't get fired up very often, only on those very coldest of cold days. The final thing that we did with the house was put on the solar system on the roof. It's a 10 kilowatt system. The roof faces east-west, so we have about 50% of the panels on either side. It's got reasonably good solar access, and in the future, hopefully, we'll be able to put a battery onto that and store the energy so that we can use that overnight. We've also got an electric vehicle, a small electric vehicle that we got late last year, and of course now that's running off the solar, which is great. So this is a really, really comfortable house to live in, and our energy bills are pretty low. Obviously, we don't have to pay the gas connection fee anymore. We got the gas pipe removed from the unit. The pipes are actually still there because the unit at the back of the block is still connected to the gas network, but we're in the front unit and it's been removed from the front unit. So we save on connection fees, we save on gas bills, and because the house is really well insulated, we don't tend to use a lot of heating and cooling to keep the house comfortable. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to welcoming you on Sustainable House Day.